The amount of attention Lonzo Ball has around him is pretty insane. But I do think a lot of it is deserved because after watching him on the floor, sure he's not perfect, but there are a lot of things that he's pretty advanced at for a guy who hasn't even played in the NBA yet. Of course, the thing that everyone wants to talk about with him is his playmaking, and it's all pretty legit. I think my favorite thing about Lonzo is just how quickly he's getting the ball out to the players up the floor. And it seems like he doesn't always even have the intention of getting an assist, but it's more so he recognizes the defense is just a little off and he wants to get the offense moving quickly. But then of course there are times when he can just set his teammates up in the half court as well. This play right here is beautiful as he takes advantage of the opposing big man falling asleep for a split second. If Lonzo Ball ends up leading the NBA in assists one day, I'm not going to be surprised. I think he has that sort of an ability with the ball in his hands, making plays for his teammates. And as we dive into this video more, I think he could actually be a more dangerous passer if he was actually a little bit more aggressive with his scoring, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. But he's definitely the type of guy that you like running your offense. He recognizes a lot of things on the floor, whether it be an open teammate or seeing when the defense is a step slow or just taking advantage of a mismatch. Lonzo's ability to get the ball to his teammates in good positions is pretty impressive. And then there's also his rebounding. He averaged about 6 boards a game in college. And given that he already has a pretty keen eye when it comes to just finding opportunities for his teammates to score, getting a rebound, giving everyone else a chance to go out on the fast break is great. Now if his teammates can actually handle the pass, then that would be even better. I think once he has actual NBA teammates around him and not Summer League guys, you can see a lot of opportunities like this one, where Lonzo grabs a rebound, everyone rushes down floor. I mean, a pass like this is what makes Lonzo really special, is how he immediately just makes a bullet pass right to his guy the second after getting the rebound. But the other thing that really impresses me with Lonzo is that he seems like a very smart help defender. If you notice the way that he slides down to the center here to contest. Let's look at this one more time. This is really impressive anticipation for a guy who hasn't played in the NBA yet, recognizing where the ball is going to be. If we look at him here, he switches onto Jaylen Brown without any problem. He manages to maintain his balance and get a good contest on the jumper. And then on this one, we have him in the corner, and on the initial screen, he could have done a better job of getting around it. And sure, the opposing team still scores, but he recognized where the pass was going to go, and he at least made it a little bit more difficult for the guy actually shooting. This one here, instead of just giving up on the play, gets a good contest on the shot attempt to force a miss. I don't think he's a perfect help defender just yet, but I mean, recognizing to bring the double on Tatum, even if he was a step slow in doing it. His willingness to play defense already, I think, can lead him to being a very good team defender. He does the same thing again here, where he slides down to the big man, who would have had an open mid-range jumper or a driving lane to the basket. On this one here, as he starts at the baseline, does a good job of just getting through bodies, able to stay on his guy. Got around, well, one that was kind of a half screen and the one that was an actual screen. Notice on this one, as he's at the top of the key, when the defense collapses, he recognizes to run Jason Tatum off the three-point line before a foul is called. This one is pretty subtle. Watch as he takes a quick swipe at Jason Tatum. Now Tatum ends up passing the ball out, but it shows that Lonzo, he doesn't give up on the play just because his guy doesn't have the ball. Here, he cuts off the drive for Jaylen Brown, and he's able to still contest the shot in the corner. You could make the argument he was actually a little bit slow there. Now he's not perfect. On this one, he just kind of doesn't contend with Jason Tatum there. And I don't think his on-ball defense is up to speed with his team defense. I do think it's going to take some time for him on the ball, but given how willing he is to play help defense and team defense, I think things like this, where the guy driving from the corner just gets the angle on him, I think these things will eventually disappear with Lonzo, and I could see him growing into a really impressive overall defensive player. He has a good block shot here on a guy trying to drive on him. And he was actually willing to bring help before a foul was called. So the passing and the defense are what have me most intrigued with Lonzo. We gotta talk about his shooting though, because he's been struggling in the Summer League. His field goal percentage is not pretty. I mean, To put it bluntly, he's just going to have to make these shots in. He shot well from 3 in college. He did not shoot well from the free throw line, which can sometimes be a sign of a guy who's not a natural shooter and has a tough time transitioning to the NBA 3. Or maybe he'll be totally fine. I don't know. Some of these misses are definitely on the ugly side. But I'll just say through 2 games, we shouldn't feel that his shooting is established. Now, when it comes to attacking the rim, he does seem comfortable at times when he's committed to being like, yeah, I'm going to score the ball, or if he's on a switch with a smaller guy on him, he at least knows how to go with that, so that's good. And he seems comfortable enough when it comes to attacking the basket. But what I find odd with Lonzo is how he's like predetermined when he's going to make a pass. Like, look at this right here. This is about as easy of a layup as you could ever get in a basketball game, and he decides to pass the ball off. And if you notice how quickly he picked up his dribble there, it seemed like he was ready to pass the ball before even really reading the defense. Another situation right here where he's very quick to pick up the dribble. And it seems like Lonzo, maybe he's a little too unselfish right now. Maybe he doesn't want to shoot the ball too much. But it seems like these are moments where the very quick pass is not really needed. Like look how quickly he's already decided, yeah, I'm going to pick up the ball and I'm going to jump in the air to pass the ball to a guy out on the wing. You got to be able to read the defense and accurately tell what the right decision is. Like right here, you're going to tell me he couldn't have went up with the left hand on that one? There's another situation right here. It kind of reminds me of like Rajon Rondo when he was hunting for assists that one season with the Celtics. I don't think this is going to be a consistent thing with Lonzo, but in a situation like this, where clearly a layup is the right basketball decision, deciding to throw the ball to your big man in traffic, he's just going to have to not do that. Just get more aggressive. But still, I think Lonzo is a very intriguing player. The help defense and the mentality of being a defender is good. The passing, of course, is awesome, and I think he could be one of the best playmakers in the NBA. And while there are some things that I'm concerned about with Lonzo as well, I feel like they're correctable. I think he has the intangibles of someone who can be a really effective player.